Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I'm just putting a bit of polish on a few of the pairs that I'm definitely going to be selling. These John Lobboff, they've always looked lovely. And yesterday I made a video just packing the tree. The tree wasn't fitting properly. Ooh, let me pull it out. It's a bit snug. Come on, that's it. And it's just packed with cardboard and paper. And I've put a final piece on top just to make it smooth. But I did that on video yesterday because the tree wasn't fitting tightly across the vamp. But I've polished them, and I'm just going through. And this is my soft. I've got various cloths. I've got different grades. So on the fresh moisturizer, when the moisturizer is dry, I use one cloth. Then I change it for another one, which is a bit softer. Then I go for the final one, which is almost rotted away. But I guard this jealously. It's so soft, and it does go through the washing machine. But I'm just slowly preparing each pair, making them present as well as I can. I'm not keeping these shoes; they're no good for me anymore. But whoever takes them, I want them to have the shoe presented as well as possible. And these have still got the original lob printed into the heel. That hasn't worn away. Fantastic things, but far too big for me on the vamp. And these are a gorgeous pair. They're not bespoke. They look as if actually they're a bit wrinkly on the vamps because the trees aren't tight enough. I'll photograph these with tighter fitting trees. I've even got bits of cardboard stuffed in the back trying to increase the tension. But the truth is I've got so many for sale at the moment, and I'm trying to prepare so many. It's a lot of work, and I don't have enough trees. So I'm sort of, but I definitely won't photograph these shoes for sale with those particular trees. I will use something much tighter, but and then go for my final polishing cloth. But beautiful things. But they are Foster and Son, but they're not bespoke. They are ready to wear, but they're so sculpted and so elegant. These could pass for bespoke, but they're not. They're ready to wear. And they were made by Crockett and Jones for Foster and Son. But they are probably 1980s. They're old, and they've always been cherished. And I'm not the original owner of these. I've had them at least 10 years, and I've worn them and I've enjoyed them. And the previous owner had clearly sort of cherished them, and they just got that patina of age, but they're in extraordinarily nice condition. But they do look like old shoes, but they're kind of crinkly, but they've got a watery glitz that only extremely old leather gets, this sort of watery sort of gloss about it that brand new leather just doesn't achieve. But I am selling these. They fit me beautifully and they're a glorious pair of shoes. But the simple truth is, it sounds a bit of a bizarre thing to say, but I've got so many pairs of shoes that are better than these. 10, 15 years ago, these were the best I owned and I adored them. But given enough time and enough patience and keep searching, you do come along with something better. Then something fabulous like this gets forgotten about. And it's a weird thing, I absolutely love them. But I've got so many pairs they fit me better, they've got a stronger shape and they're in better condition and they are full bespoke. So quite honestly, these just by default have become surplus to requirement. These are fabulous, totally amazing, but they're just too big for me. And I've got these are they're made by Crockett and Jones for George Cleverly. It's Cordovan, and they're just a little bit snug for me. Once again, they're not bespoke; they are ready to wear, and I'm happy to. I've never really been terribly attached to them. They're great, but they've just I don't know. I've just never really gone for the styling on myself, and they go on my feet, but they're about probably half a size too small. But all in all, I'll be glad to actually have these shoes sold. I've hung on to them for years, and because they're amazing, and I've hung on to them because I don't know why, but it's just ridiculous what's happened. And my collection's gradually got out of hand, and it started to cause a lot of stress. I can't deal with everything I've got. I can't remember where things are. I can't find things. Storage is a problem. And it's just the guilt of what I've done by sort of jealously and selfishly treating myself to all these wonderful items. It's just causing a lot of stress. So the wise thing to do is to trim it down massively. and find good homes for all of these pairs that, for one reason or another, either I'm not keen on or don't fit me, or I've just found something better to wear, and just concentrate on those and let about 100 pairs go. But nonetheless, I won't be short of shoes, right? I'm just going through and putting the final polish to them, and then these will go in dust bags. And I'll find better quality trees, not quality, but better fitting trees. These trees are better than nothing, but they don't fit very well. They're just a bit baggy here for photography. So I'll hunt through some of the other trees and get a better fitting tree for the photography purposes. But I do have around about 100 pairs, to prepare for sale, and it's not a 10-minute job. It's several hours on most each pair, just to get them absolutely perfect. And my wife's putting together an online shop. I don't really want to be putting them on eBay. Most people looking at eBay don't know what they're looking at with something like this. It's just a shoe. This was a 1976 Bespoke shoe by John Lobb. If you're watching Bespoke Addict, you know exactly what this shoe is and roughly what its value is. But someone that's just blasting through eBay doesn't know what this is. They won't appreciate, they won't understand, and they'll be bombarding me with questions that might be genuine questions, but they're never going to buy the shoes. And I'll be answering questions to reams of people that have got no interest in the shoe really. And I'd rather they just went on a specialist site. There won't be so many viewers on there, of course, but at least the people viewing will know what they're looking at and won't be bombarding me with pointless questions. There'll be genuine questions from potential genuine purchasers. So I think that's the way to go. I do understand the private site won't have the gravity and the views of eBay, but I think it would just be a lot less heartache. eBay potentially, the amount of coverage, it's a mass coverage, and most people seeing it will not know what they're looking at. And yeah, anyway, I just wanted you to see, just quite what goes into preparing them. This is just the last couple of minutes really of buffing before I put the laces in. But they've had hours and hours of stripping, moisturizing, buffing, remoisturizing, buffing, building up the polishers, treating the sole. They've all had the same. And I've got about 100 pairs to prepare. So it's taking several weeks. In fact, it's gone into the months of me working on this every day. I will be glad to I love the shoes, but it's just causing a lot of stress in my life, quite frankly, that I could do without. And it's of my own making. I'm the one that's got carried away and simply bought too many shoes and refused over the years to get rid of them one by one as I find a better replacement. That would have been the sensible thing to do. But I've just been hanging on to things like these that realistically I've not perhaps worn in a decade. So they should have been sold a long time ago, but I'm a bit obsessive, and that's quite clear if you've looked at Bespoke Addict. And yeah, I don't like parting with things, but I'm very happy to do this. It just got too much, way too much for any one person to try and live with. And I'll just have an easier life if I free myself of, quite so many items as to become redundant in my life. But these would be absolutely fantastic for somebody. And, quite frankly, they could easily be the best in somebody's collection, as they were in mine a few years ago before something else just came along, and then something else, then something else. So you're constantly finding something better. But in the coming weeks, these will all be listed for sale, and I'll be advising on eBay, not eBay, YouTube and Instagram when the site's live.